Hello, Active Sage here on the Sage channel, and recently, after watching one Sibs play Subnautica on his channel, I found myself wanting to get back into it, and I ended up spending quite a few hours building out a base. So I thought I'd go ahead and give you guys a tour of my little base, just show you my survival world, basically. If you guys don't know, Subnautica is basically a survival sandbox game where you've got voxel terrain that you dig up and stuff, but it's not so much based on digging as much as it is on exploring, and it's on an aquatic world, which is fairly different than a lot of games. So anyway, you basically gather stuff, and it's got a progression path to do with finding blueprints and stuff like that. Anyway, this isn't really an introduction to Subnautica. This is just, wow, I didn't realize that eclipses happened. That's awesome. How have I not? Well, you spend most of your time underwater, so that's probably why I didn't notice it. Anyway, you start in this pod. I'm not going to go over the basics any further. Let's just go ahead and get a tour of my base down here, which, as per usual, whenever I start a survival game, if I can, I'll just start building a few feet away from where I spawn. So that's what I ended up doing here. And we'll start out with our tour just over on this platform here. This is where I started, and these are my solar arrays. I found the blueprints and put quite a few of those in. It seems like since this game has received an update, solar apparently used to be the main way to go, but you end up with a lot of these things now starting out bioreactors. So I got a few of these, and I keep them fueled up every now and again whenever I realize I'm in trouble with power. To use them, you needed a bit of a giant, mushroom forest pieces that I had to go swim far, far away and grab and come back here. And then bits of these kelp vine things. I actually, if we go into this little habitat here, keep a locker full of some excess stuff. So I can just take 3 of these and 1 of these and put them inside one of those reactors and keep it going. Let's continue our tour outside the base for now. Also down here on this platform, I have some random robots just sitting here, but I got a lot of space here, just so if I need to, I can actually keep on building out here and put more solar panels in, which I'll probably do as I find more materials. Like I said, a lot of this game isn't really about mining for stuff, it's more about exploring. But the most recent update has added some farming, and you'll see my farms later on. Anyway, this was my first main platform. I built that, and then I built out and had a little down section into this. And this is the main majority of our base. This right here is the moon pool where we actually dock a little submarine, which apparently I left over there. So I'll go and get that way you can see my submarine. This is called a Seamoth. It's a nice little craft that makes getting around really easy. In the bottom left, you'll see my oxygen slowly depleting there. This makes sure your O2 stays maxed up while you're inside. You can see my O2 is now slowly going up, and it's a lot quicker to get around. You can also upgrade it to have some little storage on it and make it so it can go deeper down without being crushed instantly, but we can take it and fly up here, and boop, it docks in pretty easily. Unfortunately, you always hop off the left side of it, which is the opposite of where I put all my controls. But anyway, now we're inside the base, so I'll probably do most of the tour from inside at this point. And we're going to head down here. This is that little connection I talked about. This is that locker we were looking at a minute ago. So now you should know where we are. We'll head down this. Instant click, it teleports us down. I got lots of exits, so you can click on this and just hop outside. Because I end up coming in and out a lot, and actually sometimes when I'm going from that one to that one, I'll just go out that door and then back in that one, because it's quicker than taking the walkway I put in, actually. Anyway, we come into this room, and I have these, what are they called? Filtration machines. I actually got 2 of them in here, and you see they produce salt and water bottles. And actually, I can go ahead and take one of these, and watch this animation. It's pretty cool. It beams it up and then fills it with water. With that amazing cool sound. Wow. There we go. I love that sound effect. It's so nice. Anyway, take all this out of there. It'll also make the salt, but you can see I've just been stockpiling these here, so I have a bunch of water. I also have just been storing the salt here, which we're actually, we're going to need to put more of these containers in, so we have more room for salt. Or I could just, I guess, drop the salt out the window or something in the future. I also built this room over here, which is actually slightly in the side of a mountain if we go out and look at it. If we pop out, you can see this is where we just were. This one is slightly built into a hillside here. When I placed it, it just automatically removed these voxels and made this area open right here. My main idea was I was originally going to put a lot more of those water production things in there until I realized, well, 2 is probably honestly overkill as it is, so I think that's good enough for now. They also eat up some power. You can see at the top of the screen it has like my current power. It's it's not really, it's sort of breaking even right now, maybe slowly gaining up. Oh, it just went down, yeah. It's almost breaking even right now, just with the solar panels. The base takes a fair amount of power, it seems. Into this next hub, you can see I've stuck a nice little window in, so you can see just where we were. You can see our moon pool. It's a nice place out here. The nice pillars supporting everything. And then I got some fishies. I actually gathered up 2 of each, hoping they'd procreate and make more. Unfortunately, they have not done such. This is actually just another fish I tossed in here too that I had in my inventory. This is your main food source in this game too, if you don't know. You can see if you eat these, you're going to lose some H2O and gain some food. That's down there at the bottom left. You can see we got the H2O and you got your food levels and stuff that you're going to keep an eye on. If those run out, you're going to die. Over here is our main construction port, where you craft everything. If you know this game, you know the crafting system. It's basically based on gather stuff you can actually build with what's in your inventory. Lights up right here, so you can see this is highlighted, so I can make a titanium ingot, which we don't currently need to. But yeah, just gather stuff to build it up. Some of these things require other things that you've built here, and then they got like advanced materials and then electronics. It's all pretty cool. It seems a bit confusing at first. It's just like these bubbles and everything, but after you played it for a couple hours, you get used to it all, and it's sort of logical. Like basic materials has pretty much everything that's a material. Electronics has everything that's electronic that you could build component-wise, you know, under resources. You got your food, so you click on that water and it'll tell you, you know, what you can make here. But also, if we had an actual little fishy fish in our inventory, we can go ahead and cook him up. I said this wasn't going to be a basic video on it, but I feel like since this is my first video on it, I should actually explain stuff. So you can see there I could say cook food, and it told me I could cook it, and then you can also, you know, do cured food, and it'll make it with some salt in it. So now if we press tab, you can see we got a little cooked fish there we can eat. Nom, 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 nom. I also have more storage here, where I have tons and tons of copper ore, lithium that you get by that mushroom forest place, magnetite, which I found somewhere, bits of table coral sample that you get nearby, and just normal coral. I actually have some more stored in here. Yeah, just acidic mushrooms that I use for batteries. In here I got more quartz. I need a lot more quartz to build everything I want to build, because I'm not done with this place yet. I want to be able to add more windows and all sorts of stuff. I also have some crash powder you get from these little explodey things and more stuff. So, by the way, these here, the table coral samplers, they're useful for computer trips, I find. In here we got more storage of titanium. We can actually go ahead and drop off all this titanium by shift left clicking it, well, most of it in there. We also have some diamonds, some aluminum oxide crystals, and some uranium, as well as silver and gold. Pretty cool stuff. And then here we got some more storage. This is sort of random. What I've been storing in here so far has been eggs and stuff that I find out there. And apparently you can grow these, or so I've heard. And I'm going to eventually go make like these big, huge aquatic pins you can put inside your base and put those eggs inside one each. So I'll have a huge section just for that. This storage container used to be full of random rubbish too, but I've luckily emptied it out and transferred it all elsewhere. Let's go on and keep on moving. These doors here, by the way, these are bulkhead doors if you don't know. Basically, your base has structural integrity, and the more modular sections you build into the base, the lower the structural integrity goes. So you have to add things like these bulkhead doors to the facility to increase its structural integrity, or you can actually add pieces like a reinforced wall and stick it in like right there. But you of course need to have the supplies in your inventory to fully build that up. Anyway, we've come down to a T-junction. You can look back where we were a minute ago and see all of our base that way. And now we're going to go ahead and, why not, head over here. And you can see our farming area right there. It's pretty nice. There's some glitches there. Those are not supposed to be hovering. They're actually supposed to be connected. But you can see I'm trying to make one crop bed for each thing, and then I'm going to continue building out that way and adding more and more crops and just mass produce everything, because I like mass producing crops for no real reason. These are all underwater crops, and I've gone and found all the different seeds for it. Usually take your knife and right click and get the stuff. Ooh, didn't want to do that. Have I damaged this? No, not really. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. This is a repair tool, by the way. Anyway, if we, it's a beautiful game, by the way. Anyway, this area here is actually going to be an expansion where we're going to continue building. Basically, I'm going to put a walkway here and continue building the base out that way. Probably where the animals will end up getting stored, but currently it's not really anything but just an empty silo. If we continue into this silo, though, this is the farming area for above water stuff, basically. This is an island I found, which was actually a floating island. It had these big things on the bottom that were just like these green or blue glowy things that were just holding it up. So I made a whole section dedicated to farming this stuff and went around the island like twice, making sure I got all the different seeds. These things I think are probably going to get nerfed in the future because they're pretty great game breaking. I mean, they're awesome. I love having it, but look, they Each one restores 13 food and 11 water. So it's like, these are like the best things out there. You can just grab a bunch of them and just gobble them down, and it just solves all your problems. I do have more seeds stored here. I'm trying to keep like at least 1 or 2 of each seed stored in here. So you can see I got pink flowers, got these purple rattle things, and pink mushrooms. That's these things here, which I've planted and grown more. I only brought 2 back, and I've made a whole bunch from that. More seeds here. There's lots of cool stuff like fern plants. Anything that's got a green icon means you can plant it in these interior things. And by the way, just starting out, like I said earlier, you got to find blueprints. I had to actually find like a wrecked piece of a spaceship, and inside it were like this pad here, and I had to take my scanner and right click and scan it to get the blueprint to be able to build these interior growing beds. I actually had to dig too to get into that ship where this was stored. I had to dig under like a bit of the wall that was covered in dirt. Down here is just going to be more storage for more lockers to hold seeds and food, because I figure, why not, I'll just go ahead and gather up a surplus of seeds. Probably not food, because food will actually go bad, like those fish will go bad if you cook them and eat them, or if you cook them and don't eat them. Anyway, carrying down here, we have a whole room dedicated to these, so if we need a ton of food, we can just run in here and, well, get a ton of food. Lickety split. Yeah, I love it. I love having a huge sort of forest grow room. Over here, we got more things. This is sort of, oh, this isn't a variety room. I got ferns and pots, though. That's pretty cool. And then I have an area down here where I was going to start growing these mushroom things. And actually, I can do that now. Hey, yeah. So see, as I chop it, I'm getting petals, and my inventory's full. But we can left click on this and you can see, boop, boop, boop. I can plant them in there, and they'll start growing. Look, little tiny baby ones. Anyway, pretty cool. I'm going to put more stuff down here and just keep growing more food and all sorts of stuff. These things are, what are they? Bulbo trees. If you cut them, you get a little piece of them, which has a seed sample. You can actually eat that too. When I was on the island, before I'd found those super duper useful ones, I was eating a ton of these, just like chopping off pieces. And it seems like you can take a million pieces off of these things. They don't restore too much, but they're interesting. And then down here we have more of, this is the proper variety room, where we have these things, these purple vegetables that you can eat. If we go ahead and pick one of those up and see, 15 food, 3 hydrogen, water, H2O. We got these mushrooms, no idea. A lot of this stuff doesn't really seem to have a point right now besides just growing it. The game's still in early access, so I guess maybe they'll add something in the future, but it's pretty damn awesome that they have all this stuff, and I love just gathering it up even if there's no purpose. I love having big farm stuff and lots of just growing stuff. If we go down here, by the way, you'll find our main storage area for all of our exterior farming. So this passageway right here actually runs along our farms outside. And I have another one of these crafting things down here, so if I need to craft something, and a locker sort of for, like here I've stored a terraformer and a extra power cell and stuff. Anything I might really need, I was figuring for when I'm working out here, which I doubt I'll need anything else. So anyway, we've gone from all the way up there, down that, and then through all of these little passageways into out here. So pretty cool. And then this is my farming area, which has these things, which are really useful to start farming these, because these creeper vine seed clusters are used for like lubricant, and that's used in all sorts of stuff, and you actually need a lot of these creeper vine things. Unfortunate thing with the farming currently, though, at least it was last night when I was doing it, if like I was to go ahead and remove this cluster, I got an inventory full there. But I can, of course, keep going, and it will eventually destroy this thing. There we go. But, hey, I should have... Do I have... Wait, what's going on? I clicked on that, right? So I could go ahead and replant it because it's gone. Currently, there's a bit of a glitch in the game where you can't replant it. And the only way to fix that is currently to just disassemble the whole thing and rebuild it. So I'd have to do that, disassemble it. Then my inventory's full, so it's not letting me do it all the way. And then rebuild that and replant all the seeds and stuff. I'm going to reload a previous save, so that's why I've just messed that up.
Emergency. 10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Hop back inside and get some O2. It should be pointed out also in my inventory, I have an O2 tank that I built, so I can float about with O2 without having to worry about running out of oxygen. Usually you only got like 50 O2, this brings up to 75 or so. Yeah. Extra 30 seconds of O2. Anyway, heading out here, let's pull out our flashlight that I've built as well. You can see you got a bunch of the acid mushrooms. Pain in the ass to farm these because to basically get another one of these. And let's go ahead and drop some stuff just to give ourselves some inventory room. Everything when you drop it is currently a box. It's a bit odd. I'm kind of alright with it though, assuming it's like saving saving the game some trouble from having to actually render all the models. Look at that! Picking the mushroom didn't mess up our UI. Interesting. But anyway, the only way to get more seeds for these right now is actually to cut them. And they're acid mushrooms. So that happens, you get hurt. Of course, now I can go ahead and... It gave me 4 seeds for destroying one, so I can go ahead and replant it, and that little tiny mushroom will grow. And it actually tells you it's at 1% grown, which is pretty cool.
Warning,
I love all this stuff.
of oxygen remaining.
It's pretty. Still got lots of different stuff to actually go ahead and plant. Let's turn our lighting in. I'm going to need to put another platform here if I can. I'm not sure. It's at a bit of a silly spot between 2 of these little bottom platforms. But I got these nice, like, what are they called? Red roll plants. And they're pretty nifty. No point to a lot of this stuff, but I love just having them. Get our O2 back, of course. Can't crouch in the game, so we can't really look out the window. I'm going to eventually go ahead and put a proper window in here and right there, and then this passage is going to carry on. There we go. Got our O2 back. And yeah, I got these nice little weird plants, got the fans, but there's like these big, what are they? I don't want to call them marshmallows, almost like brain things that need to go in here. There's another like see-through brain thing, and then I think I have one more, and I just found another one earlier when I was looking about. So I'm gonna keep on going, and then I'll probably just have a huge, like maybe 10 to 20 of these sons of guns right here planted out there, and just have basically mass farming for that. And then I'll have this passageway going along the whole thing, just so I have like a secured path. And maybe even have storage inside of it all, like I do right now. By the way, if you're curious of just how much stuff I got stored in here, you can see here I got like lots of little tiny seeds left over from some of the stuff. I tried to keep 2 of each. Pygmy fan, that's a new one I found. So I'm going to be growing those sooner rather than later, hopefully. In here, just more of these creeper vine things because they're so useful. Yeah, koosh. I need to make more kooshes. I think. I don't think I have any kooshes growing yet. There, membrane trees. These things are awesome. They're like see-through. What else do I have in here? Aha! Purple brain coral. These things are awesome because they actually give off oxygen bubbles. You can fly through the oxygen bubbles. So I was thinking I'd have like a big bulk of these out there so I could just hover into a wave of it and just get my O2 refueled, and maybe even have those all about. Ah, yes, and these snake mushroom things which glow, which are pretty awesome. And then I'm going to keep, again, adding more of these storage things down this way. Anyway, guys, I just thought I'd go ahead and show you what I've been up to. Oops. Playing this. It's a stupid fun game. No multiplayer or anything like that. I know it's a turnoff for some people, but I honestly don't care too much. I wouldn't mind just knowing someone else is in the world playing friendly. But given the way this game works in a lot of ways, it's probably good that it doesn't have multiplayer, because it seems like once you kill off a fish population, that fish population is actually gone. It doesn't seem like a lot of stuff respawns, so yeah, you end up with some resource management stuff, and you end up having to explore pretty far away, like those crystals that I need to make windows. I have to go pretty damn far away to find those now, as I seem to have scoured the landscape here and found pretty much everything. Anyway, as I said, that is that. Just wanted to show this place off. I'm probably going to keep on building on it, you know, on my own time. Planning to have that passageway I mentioned right here using the building tool. Where is it? Standard passageway. I've gone blind. I'm about to run out of O2.
Emergency.
Observatory!
10 seconds of oxygen remaining.
It doesn't fit there. There, it goes there. I was thinking I have a passageway going that way and going all the way off the edge here and down into the abyss and into his underground area I found, and I'd have all sorts of stuff built down there. Anyway, that's that. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time. Ta-ta.